Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, July the 22nd. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, rail systems look at the deadly Amtrak derailment in Philadelphia last May to see if lessons learned can be used to improve safety and emergency preparedness in our region. Today, officials with Amtrak, Virginia Railway Express, MARC, and CSX met in the nation's capital to brief members on the Transportation Planning Board. Reviews of safety protocols and preparedness efforts are underway by regional transit and government agencies. The main concern today is not being able to meet the federal deadline for implementation of positive train control technology.
There's a lot of discussion about extending the deadline, which is really what needs to happen. Pretty much everybody in the industry is working very, very hard to implement the positive train control, and it's just going to take more time. And so that's what our position is. We're talking to our members of Congress to continue to seek an extension of the deadline so that we will complete our part on the locomotives, but the rest of the system is going to take more time and it needs to be done the right way. So that's why we all need.
PTC is designed to automatically stop a train before certain incidents occur and was mandated by Congress in 2008 with a deadline of December of this year. And by this time next year, some heavily traveled areas in Prince George's County will be more bike and pedestrian accessible. The National Capital Regional Transportation Planning Board has approved more than $100,000 in funding for 2 land use projects in the county. College Park will receive $30,000 for roadway retrofits and bicycle boulevards. A Central Avenue connector train will link area metro stations.
In Central Avenue, it's linking 4 Metro Rail stations. We've funded some previous planning looking at sort of the concept, and actually we're now moving into a sort of the first stages of preliminary engineering. So this is going to be out in Largo and Addison Road, linking those stations. There are 4 total metro stations that will be linked.
Swanson says the projects are slated to launch in early fall and should be done by the end of next June.
Well, it's an effort to attract more millennials to Prince George's. Jim Coleman, president of the Economic Development Corporation, says residents can expect to see major transformations near 5 metro stations in the county in the next 3 years. From affordable housing to upscale restaurants and shops, the goal is to have people work, live, and play in the county. Coleman says one of the reasons things are moving fast is because they are streamlining the permitting and zoning process.
We've got a fast-track approval process of 60 days. To a developer, that saves them millions of dollars in the zoning and approval process, which they'll take that savings, and that allows them to keep their costs low enough to where the rental rates long-term will be very low and competitive, to be able to allow for them to offer good rates, good discounts, and to be able to attract a lot of good tenants to be.
The 5 metro stations are Largo, Suitland, College Park, Branch Avenue, and New Carrollton. Well, meantime, the city of College Park is rolling out the red carpet for new businesses. Hundreds of people attend a showcase event today where they got a first-hand look at all the development opportunities available near the College Park metro station. Now, since 2005, the heavily car dealership-dominated Route 1 corridor has seen a transformation to a more walkable community. Officials say the city has also seen $1 billion in private investment in the same time.
In particular, we've got a piece of property that we're putting a solicitation out. WMATA is doing the same, but more so it's talking about those pieces, but also talking in a more broader sense the opportunities exist around this metro station.
What are you trying to develop here? Is it going to be more residential business?
We want to hear from the developed community. You know, they're the ones who really know what they're doing.
As I mentioned, we're becoming less and less of auto dealerships on Route 1, and this is one of them. It's the Coons Ford site just north of the university on the east side. A new hotel and retail, including a CVS, will be built. The hotel will be online in 2017, the CVS a little bit before then. This is actually the second project.
Now, all of the participants also got a chance to get on a bus and go on a tour to see the redevelopment sites.
And are you hanging on to outdated technology? Well, now you can bring in your old computers and much more to a new drop-off site while also helping create jobs for people with disabilities. Patricia Vallone has more.
DeMond Allen is one of several adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities who is learning a trade at a new recycling center for old electronics.
Well, I'm taking them apart and then using with the drills, and I take some parts, I can put them inside of one of these boxes, like a plastics, the metals, and aluminums, and miscellaneous.
We've been here open since about May. We've been working on this project, former fire station in Cheverly here, and Prince George's County granted us use of the building, and we opened it as a job training center for people with developmental disabilities.
The internal components of a computer can be quite valuable, so the delicate circuit boards are carefully disassembled.
Right here we dismanufacturing these, taking the green boards out these PCs, and what we do with them is we recycle them, and we get about 55 to 80 cents a pound.
And how valuable can a circuit board like this be?
It can be very valuable once you build up and gather a lot of them. That's a nice piece of change.
If the location of the New Horizons Center looks familiar to Cheverly residents, that's because it used to be old fire station number 22.
Well, once we moved out of the station, it became surplus property, and a deal was worked out to provide this station to the new tenants. And they decided to have this recycling program of computer equipment, electronic equipment on the 22nd day of every month. And to us, that was a great honor for Station 22.
In addition to e-recycling, the center plans to offer 60 new green jobs and employment training in the community. From Cheverly, Patricia Vallone, CTV News.
And the e-recycling center is held at Old Fire Station 22 at 5711 Tuxedo Road in Cheverly. All future collection dates will be held on the 22nd of each month. For more information, you can call 301-851-5218.
Great program. Well, Maryland will recoup most of the money it paid to a main contractor behind the state's broken health exchange website. Noridian Healthcare Solutions will repay $45 million to avoid legal action over its performance. The company has agreed to pay $20 million upfront and an additional $25 million in installments over 5 years. The payments will amount to 61% of the total paid to Noridian for the failed website. And stay with us. You are watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Byron Scott.